morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
Hey, we have our air conditioning back.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, I'm freezing now. I kind of liked the warm days.
No.
I wore a sweater still on Friday.
No.
Definitely, there is a division in the Dice Tower on that.
There's a division in the Yee household on that.
Me, Wendy, and Roy do not mind the slightly warmer temperatures we had last week. And Chris and Z are very much opposed to it. I'm not sure where Camilla sits on. I think she's on your side.
I think she's on your side, yeah.
Mike's in the middle, right? Mike's in the middle. Mike's a neutral man.
Look, I try not to complain about it very much.
Oh, I know who didn't like it or not. All right, folks. Well, hey, we got a week of stuff here for you. I'm interested. We did a lot of reviews last week. Lots of stuff coming this week. Dice Tower West is 2 weeks from today, so I hope to see you all there. It's going to be fun, and also, it's 2 weeks. All right.
2 weeks from.
Time is flying.
Yeah, it is. We're talking about spring stuff. 2 weeks away is also time change. That's a good thing, sort of.
Is this supposed to be the last time change?
I don't think it officially got approved.
Caring. They're toying with me. I'll be in my deathbed, and they'll be like, the time change is stopped, and I'll be like, an extra hour.
This is the one that's rough.
That's a joke that went nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I was...
I have to live an extra hour. No.
No, this is the one where you lose an hour.
So Dice Tower West you can't go to unless you show up at the door. But you can sign up online for Dice Tower East, which is still quite a bit away, but we're making plans for that. And the library gets better. We just added Earth to the 2 copies of Earth to the Dice Tower East library. And more stuff gets added all the time. Would you like to come to Dice Tower East?
Yes. How do I, Tom?
Well,
How do I get there?
Too bad.
No.
Dice Tower East is, you can go to dicetowereast.com. The hotel block is pretty much almost sold out, so you want to come to that. Tickets are selling quickly. And, yes, and also we want to thank Allplay and House Family Homestead for sponsoring the show.
House Family Homestead's the freeze-dried candy.
Yeah,
company, so.
come get some candy. Come get some candy. And there's a whole lot of cool sponsors and publishers showing up. And I guarantee you the Dice Tower Flea Market will be about as big as it was last year. I really thought last year we would never top that because...
It's huge.
There's really a lot of games.
Yes.
All right, so check that out, dicetowereast.com. Meanwhile, though, that's all I got to talk about. Okay, so I didn't want to stick this in the review thing, but why has no one ever told me the 10 out of 10 movie that is the Lego Batman movie?
Oh, really? You
watched it?
I watched it. I never watched it before because I saw the Lego movie and I liked it. I didn't think it was great. I liked it.
Okay.
And Batman was funny in it.
Yeah.
And when I heard they was making a whole movie about Lego Batman, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm out. That doesn't really sound interesting to me.
We never watched it.
It's amazing.
I watched it on an airplane, actually.
You did? I don't remember you telling me this.
One of those travel... No, I told you about it. I thought the movie overall was pretty good, but the homage and the references to all sorts of Batman history are astonishingly good.
Yes, and I was about to say Joe Bluth. Will Arnett is a great Batman, and the way he plays Batman is unlike any other Batman. Straight up,
he plays it like Will Arnett.
Yes, he does, and you know what? It's amazing, and Robin's amazing, and they're just it's fantastic.
The fact that what is his name? Lando Calrissian, the actor for Lando.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams. The fact that they got Billy D. Williams to be Two-Face for that is really nice because he never got to be Two-Face. He was in Batman Returns as Harvey Dent, and he was He was going to be the Two-Face in the third Tim Burton Batman movie that never got made because they decided that Joel Schumacher would clearly lead Batman to multi-blockbuster success.
Huh?
Anatomic bat suit.
That's right. Let's go on. Anyhow, if you haven't watched it, it's fantastic. It's on HBO Max. Which is not sponsored today, Star. All right, let's move on.
They should.
Hi everyone, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Maple University and the Dice Tower.
Here we've got Skate Summer. This is one of the Thrill Sport series out of Pandasaurus. They did one on skiing and snowboarding, and this is a skateboarding game.
Not that weekend skateboarding, but this is the best chance of us skateboarding through board game.
Indeed. And even here, our balance is not great. So the game, it's largely...
Speak for yourself.
Game is largely a push your luck game, and you're trying to combo tricks together. And the more you try to combo together, the more dice you have to roll, and the dice will tell you whether you overbalance or not. So it's actually, it kind of brings together that old, the skateboarding video game style of thing quite effectively into a board game.
Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk.
Thank you, that's it. So then this game's one of those that looks a little bit more complex, but really it's not. It's really quick. It's push your luck, quick gameplay, and then move around skateboarding and then get the items and score the most points. And I find that I really enjoy playing it, and I found that push your luck element in this one is very necessary, because it's like skateboarding. You don't know what's going to happen. Let's just push your luck, and then you fall. That's what you wiped out. Is that the word?
Yeah, or bail, I
bail,
think they call it in the game. It's very much a big old push your luck. You can fall a long way behind quite quickly, and then you have to push your luck even harder, and then it all goes horribly wrong. But it's still pretty fun, and it's quite a quick game. So.
Yeah, indeed. Skate Summer, recommended. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Hello, this is Oliver. And if you like racing, but you don't like camels that much, then the game that we are going to be talking about today is just for you. And that game is Ready, Set, Bet. What I like about Ready, Set, Bet is it's like a super exciting, fast-paced game, but with it being fast-paced, it can also be kind of stressful. Like when your horse is crossing the finish line, it's about to cross the finish line, and there's like a horse right next to it. You bet it on the horse, it's gonna get first place, and it's like neck and neck. It can get pretty exciting and stressful. So I think that's a pretty fun aspect. Another thing is that it actually goes to a really high player count. It goes up to 9 players, which is a lot. If you have like if you have a big game night, then you can bust out this game, and pretty much, unless you have a lot of people in your game night, then you should be able to play this. But if you have a smaller group, like a family of 2, it can go down to 2 players. But with that, you can actually use an app, which is like you can use an app, and instead of someone controlling it, it does the whole thing for you. It does the whole race. It's actually pretty cool if you have not that many people. Another thing I like is that there's these VIP cards that you can kind of get a slight edge on your opponent a little bit. Like, just get these things where while the race is going on, you can get extra points and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. But really the only thing that kind of, it's like, it's the art. It's kind of plain and boring. And it's kind of old school, which isn't my thing. It's not even the front. The front's fine, but it's like the back, the board isn't that interesting. So, but that's it. Other than that, I love the game. Good luck on your horse betting. Have a good breakfast. Bye.
Today, the game we're talking about is Rage, which I actually reviewed 20 years ago. And when I said in my review that when I first saw this, I was like, oh, what's it called? Rage? What's that about? I don't know. It's a trick-taking game. You might get mad. It's based on a much more widely known game called Oh Hell. Yeah, I know. Anyway, I was using it. Anyhow, Rage came out 40 years ago. They reprinted it in 2000, and that's the one that I played. It is a 6-suited trick-taking game.
Is it anatomically correct?
What?
You said suited. Forget it.
Oh, you're still on Batman.
I'm still on Batman.
You're definitely, that is the weirdest comment I've ever had someone make about Rage.
About a trick-taking game, yes.
So there's 6 suits. I think they go from 1 to 15 or 0 to 15. I can't remember. And then there's a couple other special cards. And you don't use all the cards. And in fact, the game is 10 rounds. And in the first round, everyone has 10 cards, then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. In the last round, you have 1 card, which everyone sees but you. That, like the stick on your head type thing,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh.
And then each round, you predict how many tricks you will take. If you're right, you get points. If you're wrong, you lose points, I think. You get a point for every trick you take. And then there are some cards that you can just throw in a trick to make it +5 or -5.
Like worth more or fewer points?
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it.
And then it's follow suit. There's a trump, but there are cards that also, when you play them, change trump and you flip over the top card of the deck. I liked it when I played it. I won't play it today because there's a lot of negatives for me. Going down to one card is dumb. I'm sorry. Fewer tricks. Also, I'm a huge fan I'm a big fan of perfect trick-taking games. I really am.
You prefer where all the cards are dealt out?
I want to know every card is in the game somewhere.
Okay.
I really like that, and I'm not alone.
I think I'm the opposite. This is definitely one of those like divisive topics. You know, I know that Z and I both prefer if there's a few cards that aren't dealt out or
Well, there's
something.
a difference. Okay,
So you can't calculate it all?
I can live with a few cards out because, again, I then know there's 5 cards over here that aren't in.
Sure.
When half the deck's not in, that is unknowable at that point.
Sure, I have a yellow too, but it's the only yellow in the game, so I'm going to win that trick.
Yeah, how would I possibly know that? There's no way to know it, so it just makes the game more random.
Especially if you're going to fewer cards in each hand. I could see that.
But I still like perfect information. The crew has perfect information. Hearts, spades.
Yeah.
The classic games have perfect. I like that because it makes trick-taking that much more interesting. I'm saying, like, where is the red 7? Mm-hmm. I know I don't have it in the
I
way
haven't
you
seen
played
it yet,
that, so
yeah.
therefore, and you use deduction. Therefore, Mike has it because it has not been played yet. Anyhow, this doesn't have that, especially as you get every trick you drop. The deck, which is huge anyway, is dealing out less cards. So by the time one trick is slightly interesting because you can see everyone's card but your own, but 2 tricks is terrible. How many tricks do you think you'll win out of these 2? 1? I don't know. And then changing trump and adding or subtracting 5 points. It makes the game. It's fine. I wouldn't hate playing the game at all. I just wouldn't choose it out of the plethora of many other trick-taking games.
It won't make you Hulk out, is what you're saying.
No, but yeah, it is a bad name for the game. But I mean, the font's great.
You like your font.
It's clearly like that's the 99 printing, right? Like that's gotta be.
Yes, that's the 2000. Whatever. But
Do you like Skull King?
less. I used to like Skull King more.
Okay.
I think I'm
Less
switching
than
on.
this? Or just less
No,
than
Skull King's better than Rage.
where it was?
Because again, my biggest problem with Rage is that lowering of tricks
Yeah.
it gets more random. Skull
King
King
does
is
the
more
opposite.
random, and I don't mind that. It's fun, but it's just dropped off my favorites because I'm getting more and more where I like my trick-taking games to be as of the most. Like I like chaos, but in trick-taking games, that's the one genre I want to be
That's a puzzle you
honed
like.
in. It really is.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I asked because Skull King does the opposite of this, where it's 10 rounds, but each hand you increase the number of cards in each hand. And I find that works really well for trick-taking games where you have to bid because it's more welcoming. Trick-taking is kind of a hard genre, I think, to get people into who haven't played it before. So
Rage is an easy one to get into.
Okay. Yeah, I find that having 1 card in the opening trick makes it, and then going to 2, and then, just increasing makes it easier for people to kind of feel out like, oh, this is how I bid.
Yeah, but a 1-card opening hand is still kind of.
I find that round is silly, even in Skull King. I almost think you should start at 2. But
you can
Yeah.
see that card. That's the part I
see
don't
it.
understand about this is the whole, like, you said you can't see what
Well,
your
that's
last card is.
interesting because you look at everyone else and you then listen to the bids maybe that people are making. How many tricks I think they'll win.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I see that you have trump color, I might not say I'm going to take the trick, and everyone else says that. I'm like, maybe I have trump on my head.
yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
All right, all right.
Poor first person that has to bid on that round. That's
I'm not trying to
Yeah,
sell this.
true.
I'm not trying to sell this game anyway, but it's a cheap, fun little game, I suppose. It's just not great.
All right.
Rage.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Today we are trekking through history. It is 2 to 4 players. It is open drafting and it's a set collection.
Yeah, we really
Collecting
like
your
this
tricks.
game. This is a good game. So basically, you've got a neoprene mat that comes in the game that you lay out an open drafting of cards that you're trying to collect. You've got your own little player board, which is called an itinerary, and the idea is that you're literally trekking through the timeline of history, collecting various events, and you're trying to put them in a trek, which is kind of a set of cards in date order. And those cards, the more you get in a trek, the more they will give you points at the end of the game. And meanwhile, along the way, you're trying to collect these tokens that each card has to cover your itinerary board to get bonus points. So you choose the card depending on the date and the tokens that you need, and you pay time.
Spend time.
Yeah, you spend time to visit those things. So if it's a card with 3 hours on it, you spend 3 hours on the clock with your little token, little stopwatch token. And you just take it in turns, depending on who's at the back, collecting your sets, getting your points, getting your tokens, covering up your itinerary cards. And you do that for 3 days. There are 3 sets of cards, one for each day.
I love the Trek cards. Each card is a set time, so like 37,000 BC, up to 1980s or so.
Yeah.
Loads of cards. There's on the front you've got a little one-liner of what it is you're seeing, and with the tokens as well that you get. And the back you get a little paragraph of a bit more storyline about the actual event itself, which I love. I love reading about. Went to see Shakespeare, went to see Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
All these different things that took place all over the globe, all through time.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Really interesting. Lots to learn if you want to learn.
It's like history lesson.
Exactly. But the production value is through the roof. It's really nice, really colourful, lovely artwork. Great
Genteel
game.
play, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely enjoyed this immensely, and this will get to the table a lot because it's very easy to pick up, very easy to play.
Highly recommended,
Quite
even
quick.
for like more non-gamer people as well as gamers.
Yeah, so hopefully people,
Mixed in the middle.
this has given you a bit of a taster. Come and check out the full review on our channel, and we'll see you on the next one. We're off to trek through history.
Woohoo.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? So
All the good stuff.
I'm reviewing with my kids Agents of Smirsh, the remake of that. We're taking a look at Seize the Bean. I don't know if that's a great name or not.
I don't get it. Is it a play on words?
It's a coffee thing. So like seize the
Seize
day.
but it's Seize the Bean.
You seize the day because you got your coffee and you're perky.
Right, well, that's the
don't
thing.
know.
Is like it sounds like it's almost trying to be clever, and I get what it is, but like I'm missing if it's. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway.
there's
I just
other
thought of
stuff
green
going up
beans.
this week. I'm doing 6 free games I played, so you don't have to, just in case you think we're all positive here. Thursday, super exciting. We're doing our voting on board game covers, the most beautiful board game covers. Again, all the covers that we missed last time, 64 more covers, which one will win, and then we'll take the winner up against Everdell and see who wins that. But it could win. We even have covers of games that aren't out yet, but that the cover's been announced in the news and or it's on Kickstarter or something like that.
Okay.
So that's Thursday. So come in and vote. Vote often. You'll have 10 votes per phone number. No, that's not how this works. I also don't understand why anyone thinks that's a good voting system.
Right?
I don't
Like,
either.
I never understood that. They'd be like, you can vote up to 10 times. Why would I want to? If everyone could vote 10 times, then everyone should just vote once. Unless there's that lazy guy who votes once. He's like, that's too much effort.
Because most people will only vote
Oh.
once. If you have to make a phone call in.
Thank you, Mike. What else is coming from the Dice Tower this week?
And we're going to be reviewing Mists over Carcassonne this week, the cooperative version / expansion. And then we're also, I'm taking a look at a VHS tape-shaped game called Dated. A party game or trivia game for people who suck at trivia is its tagline.
Does it fit in the little VHS holder drawer things that I had that were like wood paneled on the front as a kid?
Oh, it would fit in those.
Yeah. Perfect.
Joey's taking a look at Puzzle Strike 2 because I refuse to. With that stupid wand in the box. I'm just not doing it out of principle. Northgard, finally, you've been asking for that one. Me and Roy are going to be taking a look at that one. And Mike is Valeriaing it up this week, right? Did I see 2 Valeria games there?
2, count them, 2. Dice Thrones and trick-taking thrones.
And what's happening soon after this?
Okay,
Yes,
Thrones
that's
is
true.
the trick-taking game.
Autobahn,
Dice Kingdom.
The Mirroring of Mary King. Wow, there's a lot of different games been coming up this week.
I keep saying the mirroring of Mary Kay when I talk about that game.
Like the makeup company?
Yes.
Anyway. Oh, and there's today. So at 10 o'clock, as he is doing his
What's happening?
What's Happening. At noon, Chris is going to do a Q&A. And at 3, me and Eric are going to be talking to Sharon from Dice Tower East on At the Table. So that'll be fun. Lots of things you can talk to us about, watch. Let's keep moving.
This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP, and I tell you if the IP and the mechanisms match. Today we're looking at I Need a New Butt, the board game. Yes, you heard that correctly. So here's the game set up. You're going to have your little dice roller close by. The butts will start out on their front page. All of the butt tiles will be randomly face down, and everybody will draw 2 of these butt cards. Now, these butt cards are going to tell you what you're looking for. I'm looking for a paintball butt or butt with flair. There's other ones like robo butt, sound system butt, butt with color, armor plated butt, yellow spotted, purple dotted butt. But this just tells you what you're trying to accomplish. On your turn, you will take the butt dice and you'll pop them over, and it tells you the color and what you'll be doing. So this one right here, direction, pick a direction and then move. I can move either way I want to the next available blue. So what I'll do is I'll look at it. I'll show everybody it's armor plated. If it matches what I'm trying to do, then I would take it. If not, I would show everybody and put it back down. It's a memory game, what you're going to be doing. There's another one here that will allow you to swap to. And then you kind of know where things are at and you're mixing up. And there's one that will allow you to peek. You can take a look at it, ooh, okay, and put it back down so you kind of know where things are at. But remember, they can be swapped around. Once you get both butts and you accomplish this, then you're on your way to winning. As you can see, this is a standard roll and move using the Pop-O-Matic from Trouble. In it, you're also set collecting, which is something kind of new for younger gamers. I think that is fine. Now, in the book, the little boy finds out he has a crack in his butt and is therefore looking for ways to improve his butt or get a new one. It has that humorous thing that children are going to laugh at, and certainly my kids did get some laughs at this. But at the end of the day, you are moving by rolling the dice and moving a number of spaces and hoping to land on something that can accomplish your set collection. And I think that it works for that. Does the IP and the mechanisms match? Yeah, I guess so. You are looking around for the new butt, daydreaming about them, and hoping to put them together. I don't know if this one's going to crack you up or not, but if your child is a fan of the book, this will definitely bring the book onto your board gaming table. So, do the IP and mechanisms match? Yes. Is it a great game? Absolutely not.
I need a new butt.
Let me tell you a game that will not be on the shelf we're about to look at. I saw this game and just walked right by it after taking a picture. I was going to say, what's the state of humanity? Unlike Chris. Chris, what did you do?
I was getting my oil changed, and so I had time to kill. And so I tested the Pop-O-Matic butt about 50 times, and I saw the same blue set on the die, about 30 of them. That's not a good Pop-O-Matic.
You touched the butt.
I definitely did.
Let's take a look at this week's shelf. Here we go. 25. Let's take a look.
Okay, today we're taking a look at shelf 25B. We're starting with a very brand new game, which I don't think anyone at the studio has played yet, The Thing. Mostly because of the big length and time involved in playing this whodunit type game. Western Legends, a sandbox game set in the Old West. Empire of the Stars. This is another one we haven't played. I do mean to get this one played. Well, I played the original version of this a long time ago, but it's a kind of a Euro Wii 4X game. Mystic Vale, the Essential Edition. This is the card crafting style game from John DeClaire. Skull Tales. This is sort of a go through and fight stuff, but pirate-wise. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell. This is a one versus all style game. Mansions of Madness, of course. This is a big giant game here. I guess we got a couple expansions as you go through and try to solve puzzles. Lord of the Rings, Journey to Middle-earth, pretty much the same game with a lot of changes to it and set in a very different thing. Chaos in the Old World. This was Eric Lang's first big, well-known design other than his collectible card games. A lot of people don't talk about it anymore because of, well, these games. But, yeah, it's got a lot of love, and it's a pretty rare game in our library. And then 3 of the Silverline games from Fantasy Flight Games. Cave Troll, kind of a Euro-y game of area control. Blood Bowl Team Manager, nothing like Blood Bowl. More of a, kind of a more complicated game of war. And Disc Wars, a miniature game, but you're using discs with this reprint.
Sorry.
Is Disc Wars worth going back to, Tom?
It's you know what? Disc Wars is worth it just to try it out. Because what it is you have these discs and they move by you flipping them. So you can flip it and you can kind of spin it a little bit while you flip it and how it moves. It's kind of a cool system. That's just a miniature game where you fight. I wanted them to make a lot of expansions. They did not. So it's very basic. You flip these discs around and you roll dice and attack the other person.
Okay.
So what's your favorite of the game of the shelf and why is it Mansions of Madness?
Well, I played Mansions of Madness and Journeys of Middle-earth. And I've played more Journeys of Middle-earth than Mansions of Madness.
Oh, really?
But I do think I like the Mansions of Madness more. I liked that it had a puzzle. I only played that first scenario, but I played it a couple times. But I liked that there was like a little bit of escape room puzzle feel to it. And I didn't get that from Journeys to Middle-earth. But I think I liked the checking better, the card flippy over mechanism better in Journeys to Middle-earth.
Yeah, I think
Combat's better in Journeys to Middle-earth.
Combat's better in Journeys to Middle-earth. I like the scope of the game. I like what's happening at a thematic level where the tiles in Journeys to Middle-earth represent a large area of plains, and so, instead of just kind of individual rooms. I thought that it was a little bit easier to set up, because this is one of those games you have to set up tiles as you're playing.
You like that one better then?
I think I do.
You know, I think this is one of the cases where I would not say one replaces the other.
That's really true.
Because there's similarities, but they're both very good.
They're both good, they're both different. The biggest issue I have is that Journeys to Middle-earth is, as far as I know, still only a campaign, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And the app didn't let you come back in and skip. So if you need to restart the app because you want to change player count or something like that, you can't skip that first scenario. You have to click through the whole thing if you want to move on to the second scenario. I just remember that app was really frustrating because it wasn't, so with both of these games, it wasn't our copy, it was at a board game cafe that we were playing it. It was at Meepleville in Vegas. And so we had to reset up everything, we had to reorganize everything every time we wanted to sit down and play them.
It's one of those games that if I had owned copies of Journeys to Middle-earth, I'm sure we would have played through it.
The whole
but
thing,
yeah, it's a hassle playing it at a public copy of it and trying to get through a campaign.
For me, it's Western Legends. I really like TMNT, and Mystic Vale's a lot of fun. I like a lot of games on the shelf, actually, but Western Legends, I like that sandbox. I like the quick, snappy turns.
Still trying to make it happen.
It's not snappy. Snappy quick turns?
The QST. It is. It starts with Q, right?
Your version of it does.
Decide.
Engelstein's version is SQT.
Does he use that? Did he steal my thing?
No, I'm just making this up.
Oh. SQT stands for square root sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
SQT, yeah.
Wait.
It's SQR maybe? What's square root? SQR maybe?
SQR.
No, you made up SQT.
Snappy quick turns?
Yeah,
SQT.
When you first said it, it was SQT, because I remember the chat saying cutie, like cutie pie. And then also me thinking, wouldn't it be better if it was quick, simple, because I think of quick, simple, fun games. But
QST is in alphabetical order.
We will have an announcement
so
about what it is soon.
Okay. Look, plenty of great things.
We need to know.
Plenty of great things go through a revision, like Mansions of Madness into Lord of the Rings: Journeys to Middle-earth, right? I haven't tried Western Legends. Do you think I would hate it, Tom, knowing my tastes?
I don't think you would hate it.
Okay.
I don't think you would maybe love it, but I don't think you would hate it. It's very simple. You go around and do different actions, and the game isn't tremendously long. I like it fine.
It's got quickie snap turns, Chris.
Quick.
That's not what we're going to call it.
Snap turns.
All right, I'm convinced. It's QST. Because, anyhow, that's what's on the shelf this week.
Assalamualaikum. For Ticket to Ride US Classic version, there is a characters expansion pack available on BGG file section. What this characters expansion pack is going to do is that it gives each player some kind of unique passive abilities or targets that they can do based upon a specific character that they get to choose at the start of the game. So it will be a deck of cards, you will be shuffling them and then giving each player two of these cards, two of the characters, and they get to pick one and keep one and discard the other one. So these can give you different kind of abilities. For example, one of the cards, if you're playing with the yellow character, then your ability will be that you can use two of the yellow cards as a locomotive, that is a rainbow color. Or one of the cards might be, one of the characters might be that if you connect two of the opposing cities, then it gives you 10 points. One of the characters will be that it gives you double the points of the lowest ticket value that you complete during the game. So there are various kind of objectives or powers that these characters are going to give to you based upon which character you are going to represent to play. They are very professionally made. The graphic art look good and matches the character art of the game itself as well. So if you are interested in that, get the characters expansion from the BGG file section. That's it for me. Happy gaming!
Today we're taking a look at the new movie that just came out, Ant-Man Quantumania, which the critics
Spider-Man
ravaged and said was terrible, and I'm still not sure what they didn't. They said, so the critics said, not funny.
I disagree.
What movie were they watching? I mean, it wasn't as funny as, like, Thor.
They're watching Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
What are you talking about? Like, the first minute of the movie? All right, anyway. Spoiler, I liked the movie a lot. We're not going to spoil the movie, so I'm going to try not to spoil the movie. But I liked it a lot.
I enjoyed it just because we know it's quantum or whatever. Like, I enjoy the Star Trek and Star Wars, like, alien-looking stuff. I just enjoy that.
It's just like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it definitely, it spends, this isn't really, you're spending almost the whole time in the quantum realm, which I think works really well, good, because it wants to kind of be its own different, unique movie and do its thing. Sure. I think the other critical complaint is, oh, it's just a bunch of people in front of a green screen for 2 hours. Which, look, that's true, because we can't actually go to the real quantum realm to film the movie
Oh, we can, Chris.
I still don't understand on a basic level how the quantum realm works. I'm okay with it. But, like, if I'm going to go all the way down into that atom there, how am I picking the right one? I think it'd be really easy to miss.
In the
It
first,
separates from time and space or something like that. So there's only one quantum realm.
That's just weird to me, but okay, fine.
that was the way they explained. We rewatched the first Ant-Man movie. We showed it to our daughter before we took her to go watch this one, because I was like, you should at least know who Ant-Man is. You're not going to know all of the other stuff, but you should understand fundamentally that Ant-Man shrinks. So they say they have a throwaway line about, like, quantum realm.
Aren't you glad you did watch the first one? Watching the first one's pretty critical to watching this one.
Yeah, I think so.
They reference it a lot.
I think you could skip this. Well, no, you probably need to watch the second one too. You need to watch both Ant-Mans, and it doesn't hurt to have seen the TV show Loki. That's not like a spoiler. The fact that the bad guy in this one is Kang is not a surprise. They showed that in trailers and stuff.
Yeah,
extensively.
He's amazing. 10 out of 10 acting-wise. I thought he was the best part of the movie. I liked Paul Rudd. I liked the acting. I thought the girl they got to play his daughter did a good job. I thought the voiceovers for many of the aliens were funny. I was amused by the aliens that showed up in this.
Yeah.
I did not care for the cameo that's near the beginning of the movie. I thought that was lazy. I'll explain later. But I thought that was a lazy cameo. It was like a fan service cameo.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
It was forgettable to me because I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, it was in the cantina scene.
When a famous actor comes up and you're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
A famous actor's in this movie for some reason.
But there's also a character that does not shown in the trailers very much. It wasn't a lot of the movie. And very divisive. And I loved every moment of it. I loved every moment of it. Amazing. So...
I'm trying to figure out which one you're...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the one where at first we're like, is that CGI? I don't know. Is it supposed to look bad?
Oh.
So, I really enjoyed it. Although me and Chris were talking this morning, I just realized, and this is, I guess, a minor spoiler of what's not in the movie is...
Louise
is not in the movie. I didn't even realize that until afterwards.
Story.
Like, I felt they could have shoehorned him in somewhere. I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I don't know if the success of the Tom and Jerry movie went to that actor's head, and I'm just kidding. There wasn't really a way to write him in, but like, they could have weaved it somehow.
So I don't know the lore of the quantum realm and a lot of what was going on with Kang. Like, I don't know that
I don't know-
lore. Do you know any of it?
I don't know the lore of the quantum realm.
Okay.
I know the lore of Kang. Kang is, in the comics, he's a guy who can jump through time, and because he jumps through time so much, they made tons of different versions of him. So, again, and this is not a spoiler, the version of him in the Loki series is different than him in this movie, which they kind of point out in this movie at some point.
Yeah.
The version in this movie is my favorite version of him, actually, compared to the other different versions of him. But they're setting him up as the next big bad guy. They better get a kick on it. This has me a little bit excited to see him fight the Avengers. Great. When is that happening? I think it's like 2 years or something. I'm not, like you need to push this forward a little bit.
Like Avengers 6 is called like the Kang Dynasty was the announcement. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
all right, you know, I get it.
But
Thanos
isn't Avengers
took a
6
long time.
25?
It's something like that.
I'm
yeah.
excited for the next Loki series.
But I like it because I really like Jonathan Majors, the Kang actor. And so, you know,
He's fantastic.
I'm really excited.
Anyway, this is my kids. Well, I only took one of my kids to see it. She loved it, but I think the rest would actually like it because that's the kind of ending that kids like. Kids like big, grandiose endings. I like big, grandiose endings. This felt like a big movie. It was fun for me. I enjoyed it. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And I think it is one of my favorites from Phase 5, although not a crowded field to have a favorite from. Spider-Man is obviously the best one.
Spider-Man,
like, not even close.
Spider-Man.
Like, anyone who disagrees with me, you're objectively wrong. Spider-Man, No Way Home is head and tails above all the rest of the movies. But then after that, there's arguments. Is it Doctor Strange? Is it Shang-Chi? Is it Eternals? I'm kidding. No one thinks Eternals is the best movie of the lot. But
This should not have a similar score at all to Eternals.
that's what blows my mind. Eternals is boring. I didn't think this was boring. You might not like it. You might think it was grandiose. And the Ant-Man stories have been smaller for the most part.
Yeah.
And this one is not. But what would you give it?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. It's easy to say that I would give this such a high score because of, like you said, compared to some of the recent
That is
endeavors.
true.
So I'm setting a 7.5, but I wonder if I will come back and enjoy this one more, or if it's just kind of I'm almost tempted to give it an 8 because I think that some of the writing was a little bit could have been tightened up, for some of the explanations of things.
I also have a big problem with the ending. There's one thing I didn't like about the ending, which I'll talk about when we're done here.
A little later. I think
yeah.
I'd also do 7.5. I also had a child like bugging me the entire movie, so
I thought this would be this one I'll rewatch, and I think I'll still like it the same amount as opposed to Thor: Love and Thunder, which when I rewatched that one, I was like, oh, not as good the second time through.
Oh, man, yeah.
I could see that.
Although that one also had a good bad guy. Marvel's getting better at their bad guys.
That was the main complaint about the first 2 phases was like,
We just watched Weekend at Ultron recently.
right, yeah. Oh, here's Ultron, this huge, very menacing, threatening person. He's just gone. We're not going to really make any reference to him ever again until What If.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, let's keep moving.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm here to talk to you about mind management because this is a cracking hidden movement game. Up there easily with Whitehall Mysteries, one of my favourites. It absolutely blows out the water Fury of Dracula, in my opinion. And that is because it focuses on that hunt and not once you've got there anything else. So it keeps the playtime to around an hour, which is the perfect length for this style of game, and it's all about trying to determine the clues, sometimes bad clues, not as in they're wrong, but just, oh, that's where they were at the start of the game, we're now halfway through. It's all about determining those clues from the rogue agent side of what could that mean, where could they have gone. And then on the recruiter side of mind management, behind the screen, secretly moving around, recruiting people. On that side, it's all about, I can't go this route because I can't go back onto a space I've already been. I can't go that way because that's where they're talking about, so I don't want to go there because they think I'm in that area. And then they'll capture me, so I'm going to go this way. Then you sort of umming and ahhing. Both sides are unsure about what's everything. The recruiter can see everything, obviously, their own screen, the board in front, but they still don't 100% know what the rogue agents are going to do on their turn, how they're going to disrupt their plans. And I've absolutely loved Mind Management, especially for the quirkiness of the art style, even if it makes it harder to play. For that first game at least, it's fantastic. If you like hidden movement in the slightest, check this one out, because it even has secret packages, secret boxes to open. That's Mind Management, and enjoy the rest of your breakfast.
Hey, I'm Jordan. Let's talk about a weeknight game. This is Habitats from Allplay, or formerly BoardGameTables.com. This one was delivered, I think, before the new year with Basket Boss and 9 Lives, which I think I've already talked about here. Both fantastic games. And this one is, I don't know if it's my favorite of those, but it's really good. This is a tile-laying game, an older one that I hadn't gotten to play, but I had played the Uwe Rosenberg riffs off of this game. So legend is that Uwe played Habitats and decided, hey, I want to design some games based off of this, and so he did. What did he do? He did Nova Luna, Sagani, Framework, all of those. And I do enjoy kind of that line of games. But so I was really excited when this one was coming back, because the theme is really interesting. The other ones are, this one is abstract, but this one has a much better look and production to it. And this one has a little bit more going on with the types of tiles. So this one you're going to have your drafting tiles from the table, depending on how you can move your little car around. You're drafting these tiles to put them out, and you're creating these habitats of light colored terrains, and the animals are going to score based off of the different positioning that you have around them. And it has a couple extra wrinkles in other different types of tiles that are there. There's some light scoring objectives that don't do a ton, but are nice. They kind of give you some direction there. So I really do enjoy Habitats. This one feels right up my alley with that spatial puzzle, the drafting, the tile laying. It's a lot of things I love in games all together in one really beautiful package. I'm Jordan. Thanks.
That's Board Game Breakfast, folks. We gotta get going. There's other stuff coming. Z's on in 18 minutes. We'll see you then, or he'll see you then. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
Have fun watching Lego Batman.
Spider-Man.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vassell and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.